My name is Greed. I want everything you could possibly think of. I want money and power and women. Sex, status, glory.
Greed the Average is the third oldest homunculus in the series Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. As his name implies, he's a very avaricious character. He wants the finer things in life, women, luxury, everything the world has to offer. He wants it. He is Greed.
But wait a minute. What are the homunculus?
The homunculi are artificial created humans. They are brought upon this world by the means of alchemy. The man who has created them is also the main antagonist of the 2009 Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood series. He is known as Father. In the series Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, there are two Greeds.
Two Greeds?
Yes, there's two Greeds.
But what's the difference?
The first Greed is the Greed that's known to live over 200 plus years. The second one is known to have Ling Yao inside him, thus creating Greed Ling.
What happened to the first Greed?
That's the thing. Greed died. When Greed was fighting Edward in Devil's Nest, he actually met Wrath the Furious, who was also known as King Bradley. King Bradley tricked Greed and took him underneath the mistress to go meet Father. When Greed goes to see his father, it's not a very pleasant meeting. Because not only is Father there, but his siblings are there. The 7 deadly sins.
But wait a minute. What are the 7 deadly sins?
While the 7 deadly sins is actually real world material, it is incorporated in Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. The 7 deadly sins are the homunculi. The 7 deadly sins consist of envy, pride, lust, wrath, greed, sloth, and gluttony. While Greed is having a family reunion with his father and family, he is being very disobedient. It got to the point where Father even asks, "I will save your life if you come work for me." And Greed replied,
Never.
After Greed's response to his father is forced to kill his own son, but not in a pleasant way. He puts him in a melting pot full of magma.
Now, can you say overkill?
Well, that's the thing. It wasn't overkill. One of the only ways to kill a homunculus is with fire or fire-based property, and in this case, it's magma. After Greed dies, Father retains Greed's original Philosopher's Stone, thus later creating another Greed known as Greed Ling.
But who is Greed Ling?
Now this is where things get very interesting and confusing at the same time. Greed Ling is not only Greed. Greed Ling is Ling Yao, a foreigner from Jing. He has come to a mistress in search of immortality. It's ironic because Ling Yao becomes Greed, who is thus becoming Greed Ling.
So you're telling me Greed and Ling Yao become Greed Ling?
Yes.
But how were they created together? Yo, I know it's not because of magic.
It wasn't magic. It was alchemy. Father had given Ling Yao the original Greed's Philosopher's Stone, thus making Greed Ling. Greed Ling's fighting style is different and actually better than the first Greed. Why? Because there's 2 Greeds instead of 1. Or actually 2 people instead of 1.
You know the saying, 2 heads are better than 1.
Fun fact, Dragon Ball Z does not apply to that rule. Instead of 2 heads are better than 1, 1 head is better than 2 via fusion.
Man, get your ass back on track. This is Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, not Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, you're right, my bad. Now back to Greed Ling's fighting style. Like I said, his is actually better than Greed's because there's 2 people inside him.
Disclaimer, no pun intended.
Greed is the brawn of the 2. He focused more on his defense because he's also known as the ultimate shield, while Ling Yao actually focused more on his martial art capabilities. He's very talented in not only in martial arts, but sensing other opponents. And in this case, it's the homunculi. Not only can Ling sense homunculi, but he can sense, locate, and track the Q of the living beings around him, such as animals, allies, and foes. Ling is also a tactician. He's able to think 2 steps ahead of his opponent that he is facing at that time frame. Greed is also good in the defensive aspect because he's also known as the ultimate shield. The ultimate shield durability is very strong. His ultimate shield is as strong as diamond, and diamond is known as the hardest material on earth. With the sensibility of Ling Yao and the destructive capabilities of Greed, These two are very strong together. They are a force to be reckoned with.
Now is Greed a hero or a villain?
Honestly, I can't even answer that question. Greed is like a villain in the beginning of the series in some aspects, but he's also a hero at the end of the series. But on top of that, he keeps his villain type personality, which makes him an anti-hero and anti-villain. To be honest, Greed is not hero or villain. He's just neutral. Can the dastardly Greed take on God Jill? Tune in next time in Anime Dream Match Introduction.